Now then, YouTube is a video on Rupert Lowe, and it'll be Andy the Gabby Caddy's video. So if you want to watch this without me talking and giving my response, then feel free to go in the description. The link will be there. You can watch this without me talking. But if you're going to continue past here, I'm going to presume you want to know what I've got to say. So let's get into it.
Where I live, we just had a by-election. And what triggered it was the Reform councillor that was in place ended up behind the door. I'm not going to go into detail because that's...
Does it mean behind the door? I'm a bit confused what it means about that euphemism.
It's not for me to do so, but he was basically tried, convicted of a crime, and ended up going inside. So what that did, in effect, was trigger a by-election for the local Kent County Council seat. Now, if you look at the situation, it doesn't matter if you put in a saint straight away for reform. They ain't going to get the vote because people are just going to think, well, another person like we just had, that ain't a bit of us. People are fed up with Labour. People are fed up with Tory. And people believe that...
Yes, I would agree, and I have been very vocal about this for like the past, I said 20 years, maybe a bit less than that. But I've been against the two-party system now for a very, very long period of time, and everybody who's been voting Conservative and Labour, you are the kind of people that are responsible for where the UK is now. You were the ones voting in these same two moronic parties, which had no real interest in acting out your best interest. But you kept doing it over and over and over again, all whilst complaining that they were all the same. And I know I'm like pointing the finger here, but I am incredibly frustrated about where the UK is because of the two-party system. So yes, you have all been very slow to wake up, but eventually you have all woken up, which is very good.
Other parties, other individuals, wasted vote. So who you're left with? Well, I don't know if you remember a video I did the other day. I turned around and told you I had a member of the Green Party knock on my front door, punting for votes. And my exact words were, and I'm paraphrasing to a degree here, I wouldn't vote for the Green Party if you were the last party on earth. He took it.
I mean, yeah, same here. I mean, I've in the last few elections, I've just spoiled my paper, ballot paper. So the vote is obviously still counted, but I'm not voting for one of these crazy parties that are manipulated. So yeah, I wouldn't vote for the Greens either. Even if it was just one party, I'd be like, nope, I'll spoil my paper, thank you. No Green Party for me.
As it was meant. We had a conversation about why and worries about voting and turnout. So I'll come to that in a minute. And it was quite constructive. And on he went. And as I said, I never voted for the Green Party. That is a fact. And I never would either. Well, the Green Party won. They won the seat. I couldn't actually believe it. There's one thing I want to show you. And it's this thing here. This is the local news article. I'll come on to the point of Rupert Lowe in just a moment, but this leads into that story. This is Kent County Council, Cliftonville.
I don't mind Andy the Gabby Caddy, but I find he waffles. I kind of think he could get to the point a little bit faster.
Division by-election count and result. Greens take the vote, and you can see there's a bloke called Rob Yates won the actual election. So if we drill down, you can see the number of votes, and there's Rob.
That's not what drilling down means. He means scroll down. Drill down is when you click on like a link, like click on the link, click on the link, click on the link, and that's drilling down.
Rob Yates there. You can see the count. Now, this is what I want to show you. TDC Chief Executive Colin Carmichael has confirmed the turnout figure as 37.69%, equaling 5,334 votes of an electorate, and that's a ward electorate of just over 14,000. So, in other words, a great big chunk of people never bothered to show up and vote. Under 40%. And then what you do, you get someone like the Green Party come in and win an election, and effectively they have no mandate because hardly anybody turned up to support. You know, for it to be serious, it should be 50%, 60%, 70% upwards, and it never is. This is why the parties as they are winning the day. And Rupert Lowe has a very valid point, which I'll show you here.
Oh, finally. I'm going to get into the meat of the video here. We're like a third of the way through, and I have no greater clarity on what Andy's point is at the minute.
This is a tweet that Rupert released. Restore Britain is not going to beg for your votes. If you agree with what we're saying, great. You now have a genuine alternative. If not, fine. Your choice. We are giving the British people a route out, an option. One last option. That's all.
Which is fair enough. I completely agree with that. I do quite like Rupert Lowe. Not committed to who I'm voting for in this next election at the minute. They are sort of my favourite at the minute, but you know it's way off, so I'm not going to throw all my eggs into one basket. I am trying to remain as apolitical as I can. I don't want people if you watch my channel, it's going to be a restore channel or a form channel or an advanced channel. But just for clarity, restore are my sort of favourite option at the moment.
So let's play the accompanying video, which I think is important.
I think all of us can see quite how badly it's gone wrong. And look, I mean, we're a different party. I don't plead for people's votes. I say we are here if you agree that Britain needs to be restored.
Rupert Lowe is the all might of British politics. I am here. I can't do Chris Sabbath's voice.
Then vote for us. But we are not like politicians who are craving power. We are an option which people can vote for if they agree with us that things need radical change. And if we attain power, there will be radical change. And the change basically will be that we will put the British people at the top of the agenda and we will protect their interests in every possible way we can.
Now, I found that a very modest way of putting things.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Rupert Lowe is very measured with his statements. He is very careful to maybe not sound too extreme, but he's very concise. So I think he's good at PR. He's good at managing the media when they will actually speak to him.
No bells and whistles, no, power words, if you can call it. It's really very simple. And it's basically, if you want to vote for us, then vote for us. We're not going to twist your arm behind your back and shove it up there somewhere to make you do it. At the end of the day, what people seem to be losing sight of is the vote is yours. It's not theirs. It's not just a number on a piece of paper. It's a constitutional right that you have, a constitutional right that is yours to use. And I think the meaning of this has been lost over the course of time. And we've led into a situation where we are allowing a political class to rule us. And the reason they rule it...
Yeah, I mean, depends how you want to define it. We can define it broadly as the elites or, the NWO, or the actual term is escaping me at this moment in time. But there's definitely people with their hands on the buttons, and they do not want us being able to see that their hands are on the buttons and be able to dictate how they should press these buttons. It's not a very good scenario. I do predict. I'm trying not to make predictions now. In Christian, we're not meant to make predictions unless we're prophets. But I would still, in my own mind, see things not going particularly very good in the immediate future, but overall we will succeed, is what I think. Overall, I'm not making hard predictions here.
Class to rulers. And the reason they rule us is because we've been indoctrinated and led to believe that we only have limited choices. We either have communism or we have capitalism. That was the original choice. And the problem is, over the years, the two sides have melded together so much, you couldn't stick a fact paper between them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the complaint from the Conservative voters for the last 10 years or so, probably longer, that the Conservatives have just become ever more like Labour, moved ever more central, alienating their sort of core voter base. And same with Labour. I mean, why lots of Labour voters are going to the Greens, because they consider that Labour have become too corporate and are giving in, I would say, maybe to some of the right-wing concepts that they do not appreciate. Not that I agree with the leftists that probably have this ideology, but that is how I foresee the landscape holding at this moment in time.
Yet people still play the game. They think, well, you know, we better vote for Conservatives because we don't want Labour in. Or if we vote for Nigel Farage and his band of merry men, we're going to let Labour in. If we vote for him down the road, maybe an independent or a constitutionalist, we're going to let these guys in instead. Now, in effect, if you leave it in a situation where you get the low turnout like that you did, I mean, under 40% is pathetic. You will allow these people to carry on as they have been forevermore. That's really all there is to it. They will play the game and they will remain in power. What you need to do, you need to become politically engaged. You need to talk to the people that you know. You need to get them to become politically engaged. And together we need to sort this out, because otherwise, you know, it's gonna fall. Now, if you look at Restore Britain, if you look at what they're actually saying, there is an awful lot of common sense in there. One of the things that Rupert Lowe said, for example, he was addressing the imbalance of power within the judiciary. At the end of the day, one thing that has been lost to time is the sovereignty situation. They make you believe that Parliament is sovereign. Parliament is not sovereign. The people are sovereign. And the reason we've been led to believe that Parliament is sovereign is because they did a demolition job on the Bill of Rights and illegally removed 2 or 3 pieces out of there, which creates a situation where Parliament is sovereign. Now, how do I know that? Because I did my research. I learnt. And this is the problem. A lot of people don't learn.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's true. This is why a lot of the time I don't like discussing politics with people in the street or at work, etc., because I find that their understanding is severely lacking and they are not able to have an actual constructive conversation dealing with facts, because they have such a warped view of British politics. A lot of the leftists seem to think that we are the USA. I mean, maybe that's lessened so much now at the minute, where the distinguishment has become more pronounced. For instance, us getting sent to prison for naughty words. There's certainly other examples of this where people do not understand British politics. I mean, another example would be saying that we're not a Christian country, which is completely nonsense. Like, the flag has 3 saints' crosses as part of the flag. The King is the head of the Church of England, and we have bishops in the House of Lords. So this is a Christian country, no matter which way you try and cut and slice it. And there's many such examples of this, of people not understanding British politics, which makes it very vexatious to be able to have a conversation with them that is potentially constructive. Yeah, so I completely relate to what he's saying.
In effect, the power should flow from the people upwards, and instead you've got a situation where it's flowing from the government downwards. and that's creating big issues. You know, in
Yeah, I mean, essentially, they're almost trying to make it like a quasi autocracy. I mean, I can't say it's a complete autocracy because we obviously have this moving around of parties or whatnot, but the very fact that things never get better and the same policies all seem to be enacted out which are not in the best interest of the great British public would indicate to me that there is some form of autocratic methodology behind these actions, in my personal opinion.
the 1911 Parliament Act, when that was passed, they were warned at the time that if you proceed with this, and you're talking Fabianism again, you will create a political class all on its own who will ride roughshod forevermore. And progressively, over the course of time, that is exactly what's happened to us. Do you see where it's going? So really, it is a case of, and you look what's happening in Ireland, it's a case of people power. We need to turn around and say, nah, we've had enough now, and peacefully start getting engaged in the process. It's the only way, folks, this is going to change. It's the only way we're going to vote, go for the better. So I think that is a very important message from Rupert Lowe right there. It creates a whole other attitude, a whole other way of looking at it. You know, if you like what we're going to do, then vote for us.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure where Andy lies on this. I haven't watched his channel in a little while. I would have presumed he was a Reform voter, and then he's not now potentially moving his attention over to Restore, which would be very intelligent, I think. Not that I'm saying he is intelligent, because I don't know that much about him. But I think it would have to be a moron to vote for Reform, potentially, at the minute, because Nigel Farage is an untrustworthy weasel. He flip-flops around the political spectrum on his opinions. He was getting really soft, and now that Rupert's come along and the story is now trying to become a little bit more hardline. Is Nigel better than some of the other alternatives in like Labour, the Lib Dems, the Greens? Yeah, of course. But is he actually... He is, in my opinion, still controlled opposition. And maybe he's controlled directly and he's aware that he's being controlled, or he's being puppeteered by the other forces because he's so predictable. And I really do wish that Nigel would have sodded off after Brexit, after he said he was going to. But for some reason, he hung around like a bad smell, and now he's causing havoc on the right wing. And it's not too much an issue for me, I suppose, in one way, because I'm not actually right wing. I just sort of associate more with right wingers. Because like the left wingers have become like toxic, deluded morons. I'm going to leave this video here anyway for now. If you want to check this out without me talking, though, the link will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.